Hi there, I'm Miss Lambert from Student Services, and I want to talk to you a little bit about reading. I get a lot of students that come down and they often ask me, how do I get better at reading comprehension? And my answer is, you need to read. So then I ask them if they read at home, and often the answer I get is no. So I want to talk to you about, just like as an athlete, when you start doing a workout, you don't start out doing like 3 hours at a time. You start out and you build up. So if you decide that you're going to start to really try to read a little bit more at home, you're not going to start with some big, thick novel like this necessarily. There are some other things you could do first. So a couple options we have in our library is we have these things called rapid reads. That means you can read it quickly. And they're pretty interesting. And this one is called A Winter Kill. So it's talking about, I shifted my feet, snow crunched beneath my boots. I dropped to a squat beside the body. It was a woman. Her long pink scarf was wrapped tightly around her neck, too tight to let air pass. I pulled off my gloves and held my fingers to the side of her neck, cold and still. Dun, dun, dun. You can take this out in the library. It's nice and quick. You'll get through it. Another type of book that you might want to check out, which is great, are books, and there's a lot of them right now, where they're written more like lyrics to a song. And so you can go through and you're reading a story, but it's written more like lyrics or like poetry. And we have a ton of them in our library. They're very, very popular. What's nice about it is that you get through pretty quick. There's lots of space on the page without text, and so it makes it very friendly to read. And finally, graphic novels are a really big deal, and they are really popular, and I highly recommend checking them out if you enjoy something that has more visuals, more like a comic kind of setup, but there's still a lot of text in there to read and a lot of understanding. The most important thing about learning how to read and learning how to read for enjoyment is finding something that you like to read. So I encourage you to find anything that is of interest for you and get reading. Thanks.
Hockey hopes, trauma and turmoil. When assault is alleged, who do you believe? People say Beartown is finished. A tiny community nestled deep in the forest, it is slowly losing ground to the ever-encroaching trees. But down by the lake stands an old ice rink, built generations ago by the working men who founded this town. And that ice rink is the reason people in Beartown believe tomorrow will be better than today. Their junior ice hockey team is about to compete in the national semifinals, and they actually have a shot at winning. All of the hopes and dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys. A victory would send star player Kevin onto a brilliant professional future in the NHL. It would mean everything to Matt, a scrawny 15-year-old treated like an outcast everywhere but on the ice. And it would justify the choice that Peter, the team's general manager, and his wife Kira made to return to his hometown and raise their children in this beautiful but isolated place. Being responsible for the hopes of an entire town is a heavy burden, and the semifinal match is the catalyst for a violent act that will leave a young girl traumatized and a town in turmoil. Hers is a story no one wants to believe, since doing so would mean the end of a dream. Accusations are made, and, like ripples on a pond, they travel through all of Beartown, leaving no resident unaffected. Beartown, by Fredrik Backman, is for mature students, grade 9 and up, due to its triggering nature. But given the controversy rippling through Hockey Canada right now, this is a particularly relevant read. Whatever your school clique, you can see yourself, our school, and our world in this novel.
Whoa, Dune. Set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is a story of a boy, Paul Atreides, who would become known as Muad'Dib, and of a great family's ambition to bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. A stunning blend of adventure and mysticism, and environmentalism and politics, Dune has won a ton of awards as the best science fiction novel ever. For all of you science fiction fans, even Star Wars or anything else like that, this is the best fantasy novel you can get. Read Dune by Frank Herbert.
Hey Vimy, Mr. Quinlan here. I've got a recommendation for Reading Week. Probably like most of you, reading was never a big priority of mine until I actually found things I'd like to read. So my book, Dragon Hoops, it's available on Sora. It's an app. You don't really need anything. Just sign up with your school ID, and it's free. It's by Gene Lung Young. It's I probably butchered his name, so I apologize to him. It's a New York Times bestseller. And it is an unbelievable read. If you like true stories, it's a true story. You like sports, it's got sports in there, but it's really about race and gender inequality, social justice, immigration, and perseverance. So not going too far into the ins and outs of the book, but it's a wonderful read. It's a graphic novel. So I was able to get through it in about 2 days because it was so good I couldn't put it down. So if you're looking for a book to read, Dragon Hoops, pick it up, and you will enjoy it. I guarantee it.
Hey, it's Mr. Bartow here with the Daily Read. To be quite honest, I'm not much of a reader. However, I have read some really influential books, and I have one to recommend to you. It would be You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So I'll preface, the book does have swears in it. However, it's a book about perseverance, resiliency, and ultimately grit. So I know that students who are either leaving school, students that are going through hard times, or students that are looking to kind of push through those valleys in order to experience more success in their personal lives or even in their athletic lives, this is a book for you to read. It's pretty inspiring. It is a toughen up kind of book, and I think some of our students here will definitely enjoy it and will find a new sense of focus in reading this book. So enjoy it. Try not to say some of the stuff that's in there, but enjoy the book and look forward to hearing about it.